welcome to In the Moment. I am Paul Sisler, the host. And today, at this time and hour, we have the alternative with J.H. Colts. Hello, Jay. How are you doing, brother?
Pretty good. How are you?
Awesome. And I take it you crashed a wedding the other day.
I did crash a wedding, and it was the most fun that I'll never remember. And I also strongly recommend any of you who want that pre-wedding crash interview that me and Paul did to go and join his Patreon. Only $3. It's a steal. That's like less than your Starbucks.
There you go. Exactly. So we have today someone that has terrorized Twitter Spaces with his awesome readings of a multitude of horror like you cannot imagine. We know him as Attic, and he's going by his pen name today for his newly released book. And I'd like to introduce everybody to Daigle. Hello, Daigle.
John, what's going on?
Hey. So, Daigle, if you could, please tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm a book nerd, first and foremost, writer. Mostly horror. I don't think I write much anything else. It's got to be pretty dark if I'm going to do anything at all. Own a bookstore. Pretty much chill out, read, write. That's it, man. It's pretty much all that's all there is to know. I mean, not much else to know.
What more could you want?
Quite a worldly guy.
All right. So what inspired you to write? Like, I mean, when did you start writing? Like, was it back in high school, elementary school? Was it after, you got out into the real world and saw things? Where was the inspiration? When did you start writing?
When I was a kid, I used to read a lot. First book was like Moby Dick, right? I got into reading Moby Dick and thought that was like amazing. And I was like, I want to tell stories like that. And I knew back then it was metaphorical, but and then I was living overseas at the time when I was a kid. So I just started kind of writing my own little short stories, little flash fiction things. And I had a teacher that provided me with feedback, just kind of egged me on to do it. And then I just kept writing. I kept writing, and it was a hobby. I never did it as a profession for a long time. And then recently I retired from my main gig that I had, my main job, and I decided to take a stab at writing full time, and here we are. So I got that happening.
All right. Now, Jay, you're with a publishing house. What was the name of that publishing house again?
Castle Carrington. It has a bunch of little smaller subsidiaries and whatnot, but the main one is Castle Carrington. And as luck would have it, a certain someone that we're interviewing is also under that one, getting traditionally published.
Indeed.
Yes. Bingo. Oh my goodness. Bingo. So
got himself a home.
Yes. So this is like the big story and all that. A lot of people, everybody's heard the song, B-I-N-G-O, and Bingo was his name-o and all of that. And everyone thinks that Bingo is kind of a cool name and all that, for a dog. But Daigle, you've kind of changed that. That's going to become something different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this show now over to Jay. Jay, the alternative, take over.
Firstly, proper congratulations. Honestly, not a lot of people can actually make it to the point where they can say, I am traditionally published. So big congrats on that, man.
Thanks, man.
Of course, rightfully deserved. And now the cover. That's all you, man.
Yeah. I just decided there's a a truck in the story called the Winter Necessity that kind of drives Bingo to do things. It reminds me of his dad, and I wanted to make that the main cover. So I just started designing different covers. I had other covers at first, and then what I did is I started designing covers, and I didn't like what I was coming up with. So what I did was I went, believe it or not, I went into an AI app that I paid for, so I own the art. And I started putting sentence structures of my story into the AI app. One of them being the Winter Necessity describing this truck. And it drew that picture, which is exactly the truck I was thinking of when I wrote it, which was really weird. And then I took that picture, the main foundation of that picture, and I brought it into a different couple programs and started messing with it, kind of cartoonizing it and making it different and messing with it. And then that's the final product that you have now is that cover for Bingo. And yeah, I think it describes the story well, because when you read that story, that truck plays a big part in Bingo's memory of his father and such.
Oh, I absolutely love it. I'm a big fan of the truck. As soon as I saw it, I looked at it and I was like, this has this very like ominous, rural, sort of out there alone type of feel that I feel like the story itself, it really encapsulates that. I've been privy to a few of your readings.
Yeah, it's actually set in a town that doesn't exist. Crescent, Ohio is not really a town, but I placed it about 100 miles outside of an actual town that's small. So if you looked up that town, you would see population of 2,300 people, and then I made Crescent even smaller, and I just made up the name and made up the town and the structure and kind of where it was in Ohio, and yeah, I think that picture does feed it, because this town is desolate. There's nothing there but a mill. Like there's just nothing there.
Love it. Love it. I also saw a couple of your concept art for your character. And
yes,
do you want to go into a bit of like, why does Bingo look like that? Like, I don't think personally I envisioned Bingo like that, but I want to dive into why Bingo is the way that you've created him.
So Bingo has a number of different things going for him, against him. Actually, I'm sorry, not for him, but against him. I never say in the book exactly what is wrong with him. But he has abuse issues in the past, and it causes him to have these cracks in reality. From the non-nourishment of his mother, who he calls mother in the book, this Melissa Strathers. He's overweight now. He doesn't take care of himself. He has one eye that's bad. He comes from a very poor town, so that reflects in how he looks, how he takes care of himself, and that's that image that you see. And you can see in each character. There's been a few characters that I've shown, including Joe the Beagle, which he calls his dog. He calls him with my name, because he thinks he should be called Joe and the dog should be called Bingo, but his dog Joe. And each of these characterizations of these people in the book, each of them I kind of set aside and was like, all right, if I had to really have a beagle live in this town, like what kind of dog, like how good would this dog look? And if you look at the picture, he just looks like an old tired man, and it's like, so I tried to really relate that in all the photos, but Bingo being probably the one that is the most disturbing looking, and that's why you were like, oh, look at his face, but yeah, that's kind of how I envisioned him.
I love that. Absolutely brilliant. And honestly, I can't wait for it to come out. Do you have a time period, a rough estimate of when this might be released?
They said this year, and I'm thinking after all the edits, everything has been really, really done, like polished the way we all like it. I couldn't imagine it past November, maybe first part of December, Yeah. But that depends. I mean, this might go by quick. And truth be told, Bingo is a novella, so it's a short novel. It's a novella. So I wanted my first one to be a novella because I think, as you guys have been privy to some of the readings, right? My horror is extreme. It's extreme horror. So you read it, and there's some really graphically insane situations, And I wanted readers that have never read any of my poetry or anything to get a small bite of what I write before I give them a book, So I started with Bingo's story, because I just was so encased with that story. You guys were there during, both of you were there during the genesis of that story. So
Yeah.
I wanted that to be my first one because I believed in it so much. I still do, obviously I believe in it, but I mean, I at the time I was like, this has to be my first one, So, and I knew it was only going to be a novella. So that's why this is a shorter book. But I think it'll be a powerful piece, and I think it'll kind of give people a little insight onto how I'm going to be writing. So when they get a full novel, they can, okay, this is good for me, or no, this is not.
Well, brilliant. Honestly, Diego, you're not the only one that believes in it. I mean, you're getting it traditionally published. You got other people that are believing in it, and truthfully, God, how excited I am for this, because I know how extreme you can get when it comes to that horror. I mean, you're what? Currently first place, soon to be the face of horror.
Yeah. So the Faces of Horror contest done by Rue Morgue Magazine. I'm in first place right now. We got 2 days left before the final 5. Then I got to fight for the final 5 and see if I get this bad boy. I get to meet a hero. I get to meet a really cool hero if I win this thing. So people, go on my Twitter. It's down in there. Go on my Twitter and go on the Faces of Horror link that's on the front of my page and vote. The votes are free. Every day you can vote every 24 hours. And if I win, I get to hang out with Kane Hodder, Jason, and do an interview for Rue Morgue Magazine with him.
Awesome.
That is the deal. I need to have that. I need that.
Oh, definitely. And then when you have that interview with him, you're going to have to ask him if he would like to be a guest on The Alternative.
Yeah, I'd be like, "Come on, Hodder, let's do it." He would do it.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, he's cool.
Have him come in full garb.
Even better, have him say nothing. In fact, make
just
him
sit there
through the character. Yeah.
All right. Now I tell you, when Daigle would read In Spaces and he would get going into it, oh my God, you get brutal. You can get just outright your description takes you there. You can see it all the way from like the hand going up on the truck. Your description and your setting and everything is just the mind just goes there. You envision everything. And when the first time I saw this truck, it's just how I pictured it just from your book, from what you had read. So I'm looking forward to it in actual writing. Now, there has been a question that I received on Twitter Spaces and all that. How far is too far when it comes to writing horror? Is there such a thing with you?
You know what? Okay, so I'm going to be really bluntly honest with this. I'm an unapologetic writer. Like one of my favorite writers of all times is Easton Ellis, right? You guys know this. You guys know me, And he's an unapologetic writer, and he always said that. He's always like, I write what I write. You take it for face value. But I will say the only line, I have one line. I do not, okay, let's be fair. 2 lines. Here's 2 lines. One, I don't write about any kind of sexual abuse. I don't do it. I think it's weird. I think it's, that's too serious for people. And what I mean by serious is there's too many things that happen to people that are just too, so I don't touch it. I don't touch that. And I usually don't touch anything with children that's over the top. That's overboard. I do have in this story, there's a murder of a 4-year-old girl that I had to, I remember Paul's talking to you about this. And I just was riled. It took me 3 months to write that 2 paragraphs, because it was, at first it was raw and I went with it. And then I was like, dude, it's a bit much, man. It's a bit much, So I kind of pulled it back. And I think that after 3 months of editing, I finally got to where I think it's tasteful and it's good and it's scary and it's creepy and nuts, but you can swallow it, it's good. I think that's the only thing that I really look out for. Those things. So I think there's just too many. I mean, I have kids too, you know, and I don't like to read stuff like that, so I try to stay away from it. But when it's really insane, you know, that's it though. Besides that, dude, bring it on. Bring it on. I got
Right.
some pretty crazy murder scenes in this book. They're crazy.
Yes, yes. Now, I'm writing a book called TJ, and I do have an abuse scene in there with a child, and
Yeah.
it's really really hard to go to a line. I mean, you want to make sure people understand what's going on, and it's really really difficult to go up to that line and not go over it.
Right.
And I know what you're talking about. And then there's another book that I'm working on, Blood Schism, where there is sexual abuse in it. And again, there is a line, and it's really hard to determine where that line is. And again, I've listened to your stuff, and there's a talent in writing and not going over like a line that's too far. And you have that ability. And I think that in hearing you write, and I've heard some of the other writers that have gone into some of these things that involve, you know, horror or abuse or things like this, and how they come up to that line. And I've learned from you guys. So I think that's the reason why I was able to write those scenes that I did without going too far. So I want to commend you on how just awesome of a writer you are. And when people get this bingo, you know, the psychology of it. And again, I don't want to give anything away, but the psychological aspect of it is so in depth and so brilliant that I don't want to say you've crossed lines, but yet I want to say that you've drawn some new ones, if that makes any sense. You've gone in an avenue that people just don't go in a lot of writing, and you're going there, but you're doing it in a tasteful way. So I wanted to commend you on that. It's a hard thing to do.
You know, I mean, it's a very hard thing to do, but I also think that you can write it raw first, right? Like just dive right in and write it, and just let it go. Like I think every writer should just do that. Don't even feel apologetic about anything. Just write it, no matter how viscerally insane it is. And then sit back and kind of do the social norm thing, right? Like, you know, what's acceptable? Where's your line? And then that's what editing is for. That's the whole point of editing and looking at what you're writing. And I think that's where the most important work is done. I think writing the initial stuff is hard and it's fun and entertaining, but that editing, that's the work, man. That's the work. That's where everything shines, and the language comes together and the story starts to mold. You find the little things that you might have made a mistake on. Like, I'll give you an example of that. And I didn't even notice it, man. This book's been written for a while, and I noticed that there was a character called Miss Kendall that I wrote in there, and she's a school teacher. It explains her as being a single mom, no children, but I wrote her name MRS Kendall because you're so used to calling teachers Mrs. even though they're not married, right? That I wrote it as MRS, but it's like, no, it'd be Miss Kendall because there's no kids, but you're so used to calling them Mrs. Like that's what you used to do at school, you know? So I made that mistake. I had to go back and autocorrect all these in parts, you know, search and find and replace all these misses with miss, you know? And it was super funny, man, because it didn't dawn on me while I was writing it. In that editing phase, that's where all the magic happens, man. You know, you can get crazier or you can clean things up.
Yes. No, editing. Oh my God. Editing. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, Jay, go ahead.
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just here, you know. But yes, the editing, definitely the best part, one of my favorite parts. And God, where would I be without the editor and in our publishing house? Like, just you wait. As soon as she gets her hands on it and starts the editing process, you're gonna see like it's gonna shine like never before. She does amazing work. I also wanted to ask, are you going to be doing live readings in your bookstore?
Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm initially going to get some copies and I'm going to do a giveaway and give some away. I'm going to buy some copies. And that's just for the bookstore, just for the bookstore. And then what I want to start doing is I want to start having readings. I want to start having readings in there from other authors, people that want to come in and read. I want to start doing, okay, so I have a projector in my new bookstore that faces the back wall, and I have OBS on that and everything else too. So I'm thinking about doing like this, doing live readings from authors where I can get them like, Jay, you can come in and like this, there'll be a room full of people watching you on a screen and you would read from your book, which they would purchase in the store. And they can follow along and, you know, and I can be like, that's the deal right there. You know, I want to do that. And I'm looking in how to do that exactly in a clean way, a good way, you know, like good surround sound, good, you know, good audio, good video. So we're working on that. I want to do that. I think that'd be a really fun thing to do. And I don't see bookstores ever doing that, you know?
Honestly, you're elevating it, man. You are taking it to the 21st century. And I think that's a brilliant idea. Definitely a unique one. And I hope, honestly, that's like the catch, what elevates books to the next level. Like, come see live virtual readings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down with that, man. I mean, I think it's something that needs to happen because a lot of authors can't travel, or a lot of authors don't travel to certain areas. And because of that, I could just do this. They could listen to, you know, I'm just saying, throwing names out. They could listen to Clive Barker read a section of it, you know, if I could get them to do it. You know, it's like they'd be able to see their favorite author do that, you know, and it could be something I could do. They could do right out of their home, you know. It's like, it'd be great. So yeah, I think I can go really far with it if I can get it sound, you know.
Well, not that I'm as famous as Clive Barker, but I would love to do that. When you get that set up, let me know. And I'm waiting for my books to come in. I ordered some. I got some that I'm going to be sending you, so that you can put in your bookstore. If you could tell us more about your bookstore, where it's at, where it's located, and how people can go in there and check it out.
Yeah, so 183 Park Avenue. It's called Rye Marketplace Root Down Coffee Shop. In the very side, there is a room, very big, nice, lush room, bookstore, Attic Athenaeum. It's in Conneaut, Ohio, which is smaller than the made-up town of Crescent that I made up. It's tiny. It's right outside of Cleveland. You can come in. We're open from 9 in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, Monday through Saturday. 7 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock on Sunday. And I also have a website, atticathenaeum.com. Go on there, order books. Right now I'm flipping over my new POS system and get that all set up right now. It's almost done. The website should be live here in the next couple of days, the new website. And I do. I also, if you're an indie author out there and you write indie, I also sell indie books. I have a number of people from Twitter that I'm friends with that have their book in my bookstore. I support authors. So just, you know, you see it right there. It's right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Hit me up on the website and send me a book, and I'll read it. And if it's something you want to carry in the store, let's get it on. Let's do it.
Awesome.
Excellent. Go ahead, Jay. Sorry.
No, it's a great opportunity to anybody who's listening and is actually interested. Like I say, go for it. Like, what do you really have to lose?
Yeah, I mean, and so how we work it, by the way, I might as well just say it now, right? So how I work it is I read your book. You send me an author's copy. Because I mean, how I believe this being, you know, if you're a writer, then you believe in your work. So sending me a $5 book shouldn't be a big deal. So I get the $5 book, I read it. Now, it's not whether I like it. All I'm looking for is, has it been edited? You know, has it been edited and like mistakes are out of it? Is it clean, right? If it is, then I buy copies from you. That's how I do it. I buy the copies from you, and then I sell them in the store. I buy them at author price. So then when I sell them, you get a cut back. And so there's no money up front for the author. They don't lose anything. This is an opportunity. And all they have to do, if they don't want to sell them in my bookstore anymore, all they have to do is pay me back what I paid for the author copies, and I send them back to them. That's it. And I have about 9 independent authors in my store right now. That's pretty good. You know,
Yeah.
So I'm like, and you and Paul, when I get yours, you'll be 10. So
Nice.
And I can't count Jay's because Jay's book will be there, but he's published, so he doesn't count as an indie author.
We're both guilty of that.
He's gonna be in there, but so yeah. But heck yeah, man! I'm all about. I mean, my bookstore is a bookstore. It's not. We might as well do this really fast. So people go, oh, what they call you Attic. Well, Attic Anthony is my bookstore. That's my main Twitter. This is my writing Twitter, Daigle, right? People were thinking all I sold was horror books in my store. I'm like, no, it's a bookstore. I sell everything, children's books, romance. It's like going into a Barnes & Noble, just smaller. It's a mom and pop shop, you know? I sell new stuff. I sell antique stuff. I sell remainders, if you know what remainders are. You know, I sell everything. So I wanted to separate it for that reason because people were getting the wrong idea. So if you come to my bookstore, there's something for everybody in there, for sure.
Excellent.
Well, Paul, do you got any more questions?
Oh God, I can go deep here and all that. Other works in progress. What are some of the other works that you have that you're getting ready to dip into?
All right, so I'm writing a story called Baby Rattler, which is about we'll just keep it like this. It's about a couple who gets visited by a chocolate salesman. And this book takes a place in 1 hour of this man's time. And he meets a really messed up family. And I don't want to spoil it outside of that. All I can say is I'll give a description of the people. The woman is a 5'2" albino woman, and the man is a 6'4", dark black hair, dark orb eyes gentleman. And they live in a small little house. And bad things are afoot at the Circle K in this house. So when this chocolate guy comes there, he just ends up finding himself approached by this man cooking chicken in his kitchen at this house, and things just go bad. Things go bad, real bad. So yeah, I don't want to ruin anything else besides that. You'll just have to wait till that comes out. But it's called Baby Rattler, and that's gonna be a pretty fun thing. I'm right now. I got all my notes done. I'm starting to write it now, so I should be focusing on that pretty quick here, pretty hardcore.
Nice. Do you got like an expected time frame? Maybe.
I honestly I think I'm going to have this written in about 2 months. I think I'll be done writing it in 2 months. And then I can get it to the publisher and we can start working on ripping through that, you know? I say 2 months because I'm being liberal about it. I'm trying to give myself a little bit of time, but I also know me. Once I start writing on something, I can rip this thing right out. So I can't imagine the first draft not being done. I'm saying the longest would be 2 months, the longest.
Nice, nice. Now, I don't want to give too much away because I know what the story is about, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
All I'm going to say is what smells like chicken doesn't taste like chicken, does it?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. It ain't Popeyes. It ain't Popeyes, my dude.
Yes.
So yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be a fun story. I got a lot of fun stuff going on in that.
All right. We have Marnie. She said, "Show us your favorite coffee and tea mugs." Okay. What do you expect from Marnie? I tell you.
For me? Oh. Hang on. Hold the phone. It's getting brought to me right now.
Well, mine's somewhere in the kitchen, and I don't think we have time for me to go and get it. But a few of you know which one I like the best.
Yes.
Coming.
That's all right. Of course, leave it to Marnie to be a disruptor. I'm telling you.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. There's nothing inside of this coffee mug that's instant coffee, so Marnie can take that to the bank. There's no instant coffee that goes in this. All right, so here's the ones I got, guys. All right, we got a couple. I'm going to go down from favorite to like least favorite to best favorite. Least favorite, but fun, is my Ouija board coffee mug. Now that's cool. It says coffee.
I love it.
Then my second favorite is my Hexy Witch cup,
Love it.
right? And then my all-time favorite one is my Satanic Temple cup.
Love it.
Yeah, matches my hand.
All right.
Yeah.
Now
So there's my favorite cups, guys.
explain the whole satanic aspect.
Of the cup or of me?
You.
All right,
if
so
you're
you know
okay-
what, man? I hold a bachelor's of science from Liberty University in theology and religion sciences with my concentration in demonology. I have been studying biblical texts for many, many years since I was a young child. I have behind me a whole bookshelf case full of satanic books and occult books, Ouija boards from Norway, all kinds of fun occult stuff inside of a little package over there. Got a whole basement full as well. I'm part of the Satanic Temple of Salem in the chapter in New York. And I'm a big, firm believer in religious rights. I think everybody should do you, boo. You know, I don't care. You can believe in goats. I don't care. You know, as long as you're not pointing fingers and starting wars, I don't care. The same thing to me is this. I believe that if you want to see a religious specter of any sort, just look in the mirror. You do this to yourself. You are your own God. We are our own gods. So, although I believe in the darkness of things, because that's what I like. I like the darkness of things. I have satanic tattoos all over they're everywhere. They're all over my body. I mean, I got my Luciferian one there. I got my Leviathan, cross. But the thing is for me, it's a message. That's all it is. It's a message to remind me that there's a lot of dark things in life, and just because you wear them like a badge, right, doesn't mean that is all you have, right? Like I have beautiful children, a wife, I have all these beautiful things. I have a beautiful house, I have, a beautiful life. And so, but this reminds me of what can be, and that's what I write. I write those things into stories. I love thinking of dark, crazy crap that happens in the world and then bending it into some weird fictional place or time or person. That's like my drive.
Yes.
I gotta
love
ask.
it.
Yeah.
Which one? I'll show you my favorite occult book if you show me your favorite occult book.
Okay, hold on. Do you want to really know what my favorite cult book is?
Yes,
Hold the phone. Hold the phone.
Yep. Get 'em,
Hang on.
Go get them. Go get them.
No, I need my keys. My keys are out there. Hold on one second. It's right in a thing behind me.
Okay.
And Jay, you're going to be very surprised when I tell you when you see what this is.
All right, let's see what you got.
My keys should be in my jacket. Or in my jacket pocket. Oh, it's right over there. So, Jay, show me yours while I'm waiting. Show me yours. What do you got?
Let's see. It is the complete Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. Same exact one that Aleister Crowley was famous for getting kicked out of.
Yeah. Ah, that is a good book. Are you ready for me to blow your mind?
All right, let's see it.
All right. I even got a secret key that goes into my hidden lock books. Now, hold on.
I love it. I love it.
Now, here, this is my chest of satanic books and occult books.
All right, let's see what you got.
All right, hold on here. I got to get the lock in. Stop fooling around. All right. So I just purchased this. This is my new favorite book right now. You see the binding in this book. You see the pages. Okay? You see how old it is. Okay? Now hold on. Oh, yes. The year is printed right here. This is an 1827 Ritual Romanum in Latin from the Vatican Church. This was probably used in exorcism in 1827. These books are not in existence anymore. You cannot find them. They're not in print. This man rebound it for me. It is printed in Latin. It is printed from the church. They stopped making these in the 60s, and this is from 1827. Author authenticized, or what do you want to call that? And it actually has the rites of exorcism in the back of it. It's actually included in it. 1827.
God,
That's this one. Now hold on, I got one more.
God damn. All right, that is a good fucking find right there.
Yeah, that's a great find, right? And I got one more. Hold on. This is my other favorite book. This is a book you can find anywhere. It's not expensive. You can get it anywhere. This is The History of Torture.
Love
And
it.
this book has every single torture you can possibly think of known to man, written out and told. Right? Now, hold on. I got one last one. And that's the book you picked up. Hold on. Ready? One last book. It's the big one.
We got a peek into Deagle's secret library that he
Yeah.
keeps under lock and key.
It should be right on the very bottom there. It's a big, thick one. You see it? No. The one I just bought. Easton Press. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Of course.
I have my favorite occult book also, which is going to blow people away. I'm probably going to get a lot of backlash from this too. Go ahead.
It's all right.
Go ahead, Google.
Oh, want me to do mine?
Yep,
Yes.
do yours.
All right. This is from Easton Press. You guys know Easton Press?
Yes.
So Suzanne Lipscomb wrote. They did her book and they pressed it. And she was a great teacher. This is bound in gold leaf. The back, the sides, and the front.
Fucking elegant.
This
Love
is the
it.
history of magic, witchcraft, and the occult. And it only was like $180 or so. And they go through all the history of witchcraft, occult, and mysticism in all different cultures. And Easton Press did 500 pressings of it, and I got one of them.
Nice.
That's in my collection. That's a sexy one.
That is. Oh, God damn it.
All
So
right,
that's
before
it. But I got about 70 or so books that I have, Jay, that are like the Romano one, that are like collectible. Yeah, dude, that's what I do.
Love
Now,
it.
before
Love
I
everything
show you
about it.
my occult book, okay,
Right?
I want to read the definition of occult first.
Okay.
And that's OCCULT, the occult, okay? Supernatural, mystical, or magical beliefs, practices, or phenomena. That is what defines what an occult is. All right?
Nice.
The occult that I am the most well-read in is the most popular occult in this country. And I'm very, very well read in it. So here's my favorite occult book.
Yep.
God damn it.
Yep. Here it is.
Fair
The
enough.
Bible.
And I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of backlash from that. But it's got the supernatural, it's got the mystical, it's got the magical beliefs, the practices, and the phenomena.
Oh, God damn it.
It's even got
All right.
goats, Paul. It's even got goats.
Yes.
Sure, the
Yes.
King James version does have dragons and unicorns in it, so nicely done.
Touche, Paul. Touche.
Yes. Yes. It is the King James Version. This is the 1956 edition. I have other Bibles. I have one back from the 1800s that, again, when you start reading through them and the different, language styles that there are, a lot of people, when they start talking to me and they start, preaching the book to me, and they're starting to tell me that I have to do this or I have to do that. And I go, so you're saying that bashing the heads of children against rocks and killing them is okay? Well, no, but it's in there. So anyways, I I thought he was going to say the Constitution or something.
Hey, that's pretty close.
Yeah.
Yes. These books are not approved by Scatty.
Oh, yes. And just for Marnie, I have to say it to everybody out there who doesn't like our nice book collections. You can suck your Scatty. You happy,
There
Marnie?
you go.
Across the street.
Exactly.
There you go.
But just for those people that, since Gaston was like the Constitution, oh, what did I do with it?
Look in the garbage, Paul.
No, it's not the garbage. I do have my Constitution. I was in a conversation.
That was good, Jay. Come on, that was good. That was good.
Well, he's doing his thing.
Yeah.
You collect cursed items, right? Haunted items.
Yeah, I do.
So do I.
I do.
Show me something, anything that you have.
Want me to show you the most cursed item I own? All right, after Paul does this, I'll show you.
I do own the Constitution. And let me tell you, this is a much easier read than this. But this is a much better read.
There's the plug.
There's the plug. Yeah. So you want to see the most cursed item I own, Jay?
Yes, I do.
All right, so let me give you the backstory to this. And I can't give you the full backstory. I can only give you some. Okay? So there's a person that I know that is a retired military person that was very high up in the military. During a routine excursion overseas, they came across a house of people. They were of bad enemy names, I guess. That's what we'll do it, right? We'll say that. During the raid, everyone was killed. Women, children, everyone was killed. A gentleman off the wall of this house took a 400-year-old sitar that was covered in blood and bullet holes. I now have it. So the souls of this entire house reside in this guitar, and it's sitting right behind me if you'd like to see it.
Yes. Yes,
There's
I
the
would.
most, people that see it don't even want to touch it. Bad mojo. This is the handcrafted. And right there's where all the bullet holes went. And listen, you can hear the bullet fragments.
Oh, wow.
Yep. All hand carved. It was being held for a while, but now it's in my property. That is probably the most cursed item I have in my house.
Nice.
Love it.
And that's pretty sick, dude. I got more stuff in the basement that's sick like that, but that's probably the coolest thing I have because that's a whole house full of souls in one guitar.
Well, the next interview that we do with you, we're definitely going to have to include a tour of your basement because I've seen that tour of your basement, and that is something that Patreon. Boom, there it is. Patreon. When we do the after show, we're going to do a tour of your basement. You good with that?
I'm in, man.
Yes, we're going to make people pay to see your basement. I love it. I love it.
Good.
No. I tell you, I have nothing against anybody with their religious beliefs. Everybody, okay?
I agree.
This book right here states that everybody has the right to choose what they choose to believe in. Okay? So I have no problems with anybody that wants to believe in the Holy Bible, the Muslim
I got
belief.
one, though. Paul, there's one thing it doesn't say you can believe in, and you don't have a right to believe in it, and that is instant coffee.
Instant coffee, yes.
100% agree.
Instant coffee,
The hell
yes.
with instant coffee.
Ode to Marnie. Ode to a toad. There you
That's
go.
right, Marnie.
But outside of that, everybody has the right to believe in whatever religion they want to believe in. And there's over 3,000 gods out there. Okay. And here's the thing. People say, well, you believe in no God, Paul. You're an atheist. And I tell them, well, you believe in one God more than me. Because there's 3,000 gods out there and you don't believe in the other 2,999 gods. You only believe in that one. So you're just one step closer to being an atheist than what you think. You're only one God away. But
Well, I believe in avocado, and
Avocado.
I believe in the power of
Carnival?
words. What?
Yes.
Carnival?
Yes.
Avocado?
Yep.
Carnival.
Okay. Yep.
Carnival avocado. Yes.
Absolutely. Carnival avocado. But I do not
Absolutely.
believe in instant coffee. I do not believe in Sanka. It has to be
Yes.
banned in all countries for all reasons.
Hashtag Carnival avocado. Hashtag Carnival avocado. Okay. But no, I have no problem with anybody believing in their religion as long as they don't push it on me. And I'm not going to push my atheism on you or anyone else. And allow everyone just to believe what they want to believe. We have that right. And I can come on here and yes, I had made this comment before once, and somebody had DM'd me and said, well, Paul, that's not the God I believe in. The God that you don't like isn't the God that I believe in. And, there are a lot of Christians out there that don't believe in the book either, but they do believe in God and Jesus. However you want to believe. Just don't do harm to other people. As long as you don't do harm, I'm good. That's what it comes down to for me. Don't harm others.
Right? Simple Sally stuff.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So, Deagle, I wanted to.
Thank you, Chris.
Oh yeah, I wanted to let everybody know that who don't know that my covers were made by you. That's 100% your thing. Fucking
Yes,
love
sir.
them. So
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah. And those aren't any kind of AI art. Those I just make them. I create them right out of scratch, and me and you work together and get the idea that we want, and we draw it all out and get it all functional. Then we make it digital, and that's what we do with it.
it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. No complaints whatsoever on it. Like even like
Thank
the
you.
font. When people see that, that's Deagle. That's like
That's
signature Deagle there.
Yeah, that's some deagleness going on.
There it is. Yeah. Do we got any questions from the audience? Is anybody interested in
Hold on. I'm going to add to the stream. This is the other cover that was done. Magnify, Secrets and Songbirds, J.H. Colts. So that's the cover right there. So, yes, that was done by Daigle, correct?
Yep. And then there's another one.
Oh yeah, the one that's coming up, the hoaxes
Yeah,
and
Hydra.
Hydra.
Yep.
That's Deagle as well. Brilliant
I
work on it
believe
too.
this is it. Is this it?
Yep, that's the one.
There it is.
Hoaxes and Hydra. Yes.
It's fucking beautifully done. I just asked for a couple of things and it was delivered. Perfectly delivered.
Well, I'm just going to have you do a cover for TJ and Blood Schism and Breathe and Wallpaper. Yes.
Absolutely,
yes.
man. Hit me at it. Let's get a hold of me. We'll do it.
Well, what I'll do is I'll once I finish, I've been talking with Jay, and there is a good possibility that I might be going through, I hope, the Castle Carrington house. There's a possibility with Blood Schism, and if not Blood Schism, possibly TJ. Or both, or hey, who knows? Maybe I can get a 4-banger out of it and get all 4 of my books published by him.
Yeah.
I'm going to finish up Blood Schism. I've started writing on it again, Jay. Of chapter 3, I'm adding my inserts into it, and hopefully here within the next few weeks, I'm going to read it on a Twitter space. So I'm excited. The inspiration you guys give, I tell you, Daigle, the way you can just knock out in 2 months a novella. I'm thinking about shortening up my own book just to be able to get it out there.
Sometimes it's all you need, man. Like For me, it's not even about how long a book is. I don't really care about word count. When my story's done being told, I look at it and go, well, okay, that's the word count. That's it. You know what I mean? It's like I just worry about the story. I worry about telling the story. And if that story is only 20,000 words, it's only 20,000 words. If it's flash fiction, it's flash fiction. It just is what it is. Not all stories need to be 600 words, you know, or 600 pages worth of stuff, you know, or, you know, not all stories, but and then there's stories that do need it. There's stories that need to be 200,000 words. They just do, because there's information in there, you know? So that's the thing with me. I don't even look at pages or word count at all. I just write my story and go, where does that fall? Okay, that's that then. That's what that is. And Bingo just happened to be a novella because it didn't need, nothing else needed to be said.
Yes.
Truthfully, honestly, that is the best way to look at it. I've known many an author who completely just give up on projects that are seemingly done just because they have this idea in their head, like, no, this needs to be longer, or no, I need to cut all this out, or whatever the occasion or circumstances.
Yes. We are running down to the last like 8 minutes. So anybody that has any questions in Twitter Spaces, on Twitch, on YouTube, throws your questions up there. I will definitely post the questions so that Daigle, Jay, or myself can answer them. Just loving this turnout. This has been a really good turnout.
Arinanya, thank you. Arinanya said, great.
Yes, yes. I'm looking into the DMs here, and I have no questions in the DMs. Oh, I do have a question in the DMs. Daigle, do you only write horror?
Absolutely, 1,000 bazillion %. I don't even think I could. If you asked me to write something outside of horror, I could do it. Would I be happy? No.
We got another question.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just really, really good at being dark, man. That's just what I'm good at. That's my thing.
What's your favorite coffee and why is it instant? Oh, we know it's not instant.
My favorite coffee of all time is probably anything besides instant coffee. There's your answer. Marnie.
She's got to be a smart ass. You know Marnie. Tell us about the time you drank instant coffee and liked it.
Okay, so this one time I drank instant coffee and it tasted pretty good. And I was surprised by it. But I'm pretty sure I was high that day. So there's that.
Fair point. Very, very good.
I drank instant coffee when I was young because I was poor and couldn't afford real coffee. And once I got real coffee, I don't care how fucking poor I get, I will not drink instant coffee ever again. Ever again. Because once you taste the real bean, there is no going back. I'm sorry.
Paul, are you saying to Marnie that she's just poor and that's the way she likes to be? That's all she drinks is instant coffee? You asked for that, Marnie. You did that.
I don't know what the reasoning is, Marnie. And if it's not because you're poor, there's something wrong. But I'm not going to go there. We have another question by Dana Brown Dolan. Do your family members read your work? And if they do, what's their feelings about it?
So my littlest children do not, because that's just inappropriate. I wouldn't do that. My older children have read pieces of poetry, some of my work, some of my stuff in Bingo, and they know me. I mean, they're my kids, right? And they know how I am, and they know I love dark stuff extremely. I collect it. I'm around it 24 hours a day. It's what I like, and they know that. But they also know that in the same hour, I can write something horrific. I can take my children to the park and have ice cream, and we're all having fun, and it's good. It's really just a thing I like to do. It's not like it engulfs my entire life. So my kids enjoy it. They like it. They see that side of me and kind of go, that's cool. That's cool. You know?
Now, there are some dark writers out there that go into different aspects, whether you're talking Clive Barker, whether you're talking Stephen King,
Right.
or even going back to poetry, Edgar Allan Poe. Who would you say best represents your style of writing? Who would you say you would be like in relation to style?
All right. So I would say if you were to take apart my books and look at them, I would say there's three writers that I'm like. I would say I'm a lot like I want to make sure I get the right ones because there's a couple that I kind of fall into. I would say I'm as unapologetic as Ellis is, although he's not a horror writer, right? In my style. I would say from topic, I'm a lot like Clive Barker. It's usually very demented, the humanistic part of life, whether it be demons or not. It's very human when I talk about it. And then I would say, honestly, the way I write my characters, the way I draw them out is more like an Anne Rice type thing. Like I make sure that the characters breathe. They got to be alive. Like when I describe Bingo in the book and there's very little descriptions of him, you still know what he looks like. You can tell by the way I talk about his walking, how he breathes when he's trying to eat, like all the stuff that I do, but I never say in the book, like red hair. I never say any of that. And I don't, it's like you said, Paul, like I try to paint it, right? Like I try to treat my books like movies. I write them like I'm watching it. And that's how I write my stuff. And I think those are the three people I think I'm mostly influenced by. I would say probably the most.
Now, I'm going to put it out there because when I listen to you read, the author that comes to my mind that I think you are the most like is Thomas Harris.
Okay. I can agree to that, especially his earlier work, right?
Right. And for those that don't know who Thomas Harris is, Thomas
Red
Harris,
Dragon.
yes, he's the author of Hannibal Lecter, basically. Every book has been written by Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
His books are very psychological. They go into a psychosis of how a person sees the world, even through the darkness. It's portrayed very well, I think. And I think you do the same thing. So in my opinion, I would compare you to Thomas Harris.
Yeah, no, I can totally see that. I like Harris a lot too. And even his non-Hannibal Lecter book series are really good. He's just a really well-rounded writer. And I'll tell you, I get the weirdest face when I say Ellis, but when you read my work, you go, no, okay, I get it. Because it's very unapologetic. I just say things I just say them. I just say them. I don't try to mince words or hold back. I just put it out there,
Right. Now, really quick, I put up the link to Only the Dark Things blog for Addicts Poetry.
Yes.
I have heard some of your stuff. I think your poetry is awesome. And I got to admit, your brilliancy just astounds me because I read a poem that I call Caterpillar. And it's a slight stab at the Catholic Church. And again, not religion, just the organized religion itself, the church. And you turned around and within minutes wrote a dark version of my poem that just, oh my God, blew me away. That was 100 times better than anything I could ever dream of writing. But oh my God, you are so talented in so many ways, Attic. I'm just like blown away.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I like that poem that you did. And when you did it, I immediately got inspired to write I looked at it like a sequel is what I looked at. Like I continued where you were. And I kind of just emphasized certain points of what you were already saying. And so I think I wrote it with like we were having a conversation. You read it, then we had a conversation. It was like 5 minutes, and I wrote it in that 5 minutes.
Yes.
And the version that I read, and I still have now, was the first draft of it. Never touched again, and it came out like it was.
Yes. So here's
Yeah.
what I'm going to do. I'm going to read my lame ass poem. And then when we go to the after show behind the scenes, I want you to read yours. Sound
Okay,
good?
I have to. Yeah, let me see if I have it on my. Is it on my blog? Do you know? I don't know if I took that one down or if I left it up.
I don't know. Anyway,
Let's find out.
okay. Here's Caterpillar that I initially wrote, and you're gonna have to go to Patreon to get the secondhand edition that Attic wrote. That is 1,000 times better. Death reigns without rhyme and without a reason, only to conquer all who have engaged. The caged rat is a caterpillar demon. No matter the day, the time, or the season, rich or poor matter none, it is all staged. Death reigns without rhyme and without a reason. Try to barter by one's faith or by treason. There is no winning the living war waged. The caged rat is a caterpillar demon. Deceived by an illusion of an Eden, enforced by a promised land on a page, death reigns without rhyme and without a reason. The butterfly brings joy for a brief season, eliminating grief from golden rage. The caged rat is a caterpillar demon. Everyone expects an immortal freedom, betting on the unattainable wage. Death reigns without rhyme and without a reason. The caged rat is a caterpillar demon. So, in the Patreon, we will hear your version of the caterpillar demon.
Sounds like a good time.
Yes, yes. It was excellent. It was an excellent show, guys. Anybody have anything else you want to say or add before we call this and go to the after show? All right.
Guess we'll say our goodbyes.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for your support. And I appreciate you coming in and checking out Jay's show, The Alternative, with his special guest, Daigle. Remember his Twitter, his Instagram, his bookstore. Check it all out. And remember, be kind, be happy, and may good things come your way. Thank you.